And so if you have the doors blocked either on the inside or the outside, that is a big fire hazard. And, you know, when there is a fire, you're supposed to be able to get outside with push bar. Like, everything basically goes foggy. You know? I was in a situation with two of the boys. We were in a place called Kenora, which is in northern Ontario. And it was a real house, let's say, chic hotel. But, so we took the rest of 12. We were working hard all day, just reading books. And now, so we got to sleep at 12 o'clock, and I had an alarm clock there to wake us up. So at 1:01 in the morning, the alarm went off, but not our alarm, another alarm, a fire alarm. And one of the devotees got up and said, "It's a fire." You know, he looked out through the door, or the corridor, and he closed it because it was already filled with smoke. You know? A lot of people die from smoke before the fire gets there. Mm-hmm. So we were at like 2.5 floors up above the ground level. And we were starting to get our stuff together. We realized it's a fire and that we have to get out. So one devotee put his towel on, and he just ran outside with his towel on. And myself and this other devotee from Montreal, Bhaktimarga, we stayed around and got a few more things together. We opened the door to the corridor, and it was just filled with it. It was scary. You know? You couldn't actually see the signs. And it was so we just said, "Oh, let's open up the window, right?" And so there were all these people out there. You know, they were a little bit drunk. You know? And out on the street, it was summertime, so it was kind of nice, everybody's out there. And we opened up the window, and somebody was dragged out from under. Either he was just intoxicated or just dead. We weren't sure, so we saw that. And what's our fate here? You know, we were thinking. So then there were people out there, drunk, as I explained, and people were saying, "Jump, jump, jump." And the other half, 50%, "Don't do it! Don't do it!" You know, because if we did jump, we would have broken our legs. I swear, we would have damaged our legs, you know, that fall down out the window. So the devotee, Alain, he suggested, "Let's try to do the old method. Tie bed sheets together and we can get down there." And we said, "Okay, well, we can try." Then I shouted out to the people, "Well, where's the fire brigade? They're coming! They're coming! Don't do it!" I said, "Do it! Do it! Don't do it!" It was like that. It was really something. So after about a minute or so, the fire station, which was just around the corner, came, and they elevated the ladder and put it against the window, but it was too far over, and they came over and they swung it over a little bit further to the other side of the window. They were like, maybe they were drunk too. It became a real problem. So anyways, we finally got out. They were able to extinguish the fire and the smoke. And then we got inside and we picked up whatever like Lakshmi and that we had and books. Our books were charcoal now. Our bhagavad were smelling like they had brown on the edge, so they were quite effective. Anyways, so my point is, going back to my original story, you got to make sure that if there's a fire, everything has to be clear. The clutter must be out of the way. You have to be able to escape in case of a fire. Okay? So, what is that's being cluttered in our lives? It is all the junk, all the trash, all the stuff that we have inside of our minds. And that has to get cleansed, that has to be purified. So it is said that that can happen, but it has to start with having someone who's more experienced in life than yourself tad vidi patina,
Vishpashana sevaya upadeshanti jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana.
So you learn from someone who knows more than you, and you render service, sevaya, and you make inquiries, you ask questions. You shouldn't be shy about asking questions. And the questions have to be meaningful, relevant. It's not like you go to the guru and say, listen, Guruji, would you be happy if I've got this talent and that talent, and can you do that? Can I do that for you? The guru may just give an assignment in the beginning. And the way Bhaktimarga, Srimad Maharaj used to do with any newcomers, new young men who were joining the ashram, he would get them to the pots, start cleaning the pots. It was the first thing, And if we're talking about purification of the heart, well, you know how it really works psychologically. The best way to get that going, in addition to hearing some philosophical truth, reading the books, is you go and you start cleaning things. I found myself before I did a class or something, and it didn't happen this morning, but I find that it's just cleaning the part of the floor, or I go to the plants and give some water to the plants. You do those kind of cleansing things and make you feel more prepared, and you build up some confidence. There's a purification that goes on there. And like gardening, for instance, is the fastest growing hobby in North America, gardening, for the flowers and pulling out the weeds. And there's an incredible amount of like therapy and kind of a purging when you pull weeds out of the ground that are making it hard for the other plants to come up. So it's those kind of things giving you some insight what you can do psychologically in a practical way to help you psychologically, to feel pure. Or acts like just helping someone, across the street, if they'll allow you. I was with a fellow who was a Muslim boy, and he was coming around regularly. We were walking in Rosedale, and there was a woman, she was coming out of her car. We were walking in a residential area, and she was coming out of her car, and she was carrying 2 bags of groceries. And both of us spontaneously, we thought, let's help her, It's kind of like what a guy actually thinking about doing. She's a little bit older, and so let's try to help her. But then we both had the same reaction. We had a second, oh no, she's probably she might scream, no. And we weren't sure if, she might call the police on us. We just never know. We're trying to be helpful. But in general, trying to help people, pulling out the weeds, cleaning the pots, cleaning the floor, making up your bed. It feels so good after you've rested to make up your bed. Am I right about that? Right? And you don't dare come upstairs without the bed being done. And because the bed did some seva for you, and now you have to do seva to the bed. It's doing a major seva for you. Talk about the word seva. Seva. Seva saves. Some people say Jesus saves. Right? But actually it's seva to Jesus that saves. Seva means service. And that's how the purification takes place. You've got like a halo around you. Yeah, that's right. So I can't tell the time because I'm only being done. Okay, one of the things that is I've been quoted by Srila Prabhupada in this purport is like a person who is called a Mahatma, somebody who's been purified. And some of the features of a Mahatma is that one who is not deluded, not under Maya, but quite self-reliant, and one who is always satatam kirtiyam tomam, one who is always engaging in kirtan, just like one of Dharma Prabhupada's favorite words was always, right? You say Prabhupada, yes, always, always, always. Satatam in Sanskrit means always, always. Chanting my glories, that is the glories of Krishna. describing what is a Mahatma. It's in chapter 9. And it goes on. Maybe you want to pull it out, it'd be very nice. And endeavoring with great determination. And then there's another verse that is connected to it. They're like a couplets that are beautiful. So the Kirtiyantamam, Yatantasya Dridavata, Namasyantastamam Bhaktya, Nityayukta Upasate. I believe that's what 9:14. Here it is. Namasyantastamam Bhaktya, Nityayukta Upasate. So always engaged in chanting, always with determination and taking humble position, bowing down, and also engaged in worship. And then we should look at the next shloka as well. The next shloka. Yeah. The next shloka. 9:15.
Just click next.
It's giving more of a definition of a Mahatma, right? But generally, a Mahatma is someone who's purged, someone who's purified, someone who's clean. Number 15.
Just click next in the bottom.
Yeah. Sometimes just easier than both pages. Okay, Jnana Yajna Chap Yajna. Okay. I think what we need to do is go to 9:13. Sorry about that. Try 9:13. This is not what I was looking for. Let's go. Yeah, Mahatmanastamam Varta, guiding Prakriti Ashtaka, Vajantin Yanamanaso, Gyata Bhutani Apida. Then 14 is what we, that's 13, right? We want 14 now. On the double, on the jiffy. So, what?
We just do
13 to 14? I must be confused, okay. So these are the Mahatmanastamam Bharata. That's where it starts. You know, we're talking about what is a Mahatma. And this next verse, which we're on right now, is an extension of what are the qualities of a Mahatma. How do you know? And it's more than once that Arjuna approaches Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita and said, how do I know that somebody's very advanced? How do I know that someone's pure? What are the symptoms of such a person? He asks more than once, and then answers are given. So this gives us an idea of what is a Mahatma. We're all supposed to become Mahatmas because right now we're Duratmas. Maharaj, you said that yesterday, Dur-Dush.
Yeah,
Dur-Dush, these are like crooked people, right? So we are crooked before we come to Krishna consciousness. And now we're supposed to get uncrooked. Is that an English word? Probably not. But we're supposed to get straight. And sometimes people say, Krishna's crooked, you know, because he stands, you know, with the curves, you know. It's slightly offensive. It's not really the best description or pronoun for what is Krishna. He's not crooked. Maybe to those who are inimical to him, they may say, he's crooked, you know, like people are accusing him, look at Krishna, he's telling him, hit below the belt. You know, he's telling Bhishma that, right? Or Bhima, sorry. Bhima, hit below the belt, well, that's against the rules, you know. And then releasing an arrow. Strike now, Krishna says, now. Or when Karna had his wheels stuck in the mud. You know, and like again, you know, you have to question the instructions. Is it really combative? Is it really preaching etiquette when it comes to warcraft? And some people might argue against it. Krishna let out his mouth. He was angry. He said, "Where were you? Look at you! What you did to Draupadi, and all these things." You know, and became Karna. You know, and Arjuna's son was also in the battlefield. Everybody knows the story of Abhimanyu.
Yes, ma'am.
And how it was very touching, you know. He broke through the Vyuha, that is the battle formation, got in there, and all the Maharajas came in there after him and fought like anything. He was doing really well, you know, I mean, everyone was just really impressed with this. Basically, like a mere boy fighting off these big guys, you know, and those are the, and they got a little upset and said, oh my God, he's like a terrorist, we got to do something about him. And they really more or less ganged up on him. And then he was weaponless, and then they just kind of finished him off. So that was the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. During the war, the 18-day war, when etiquette was breached. So it was the Kauravas who took the first strike in breaking the rules. And then from there on, things all go loose. You know how important it is, you know, if you're involved in warfare, there has to be, you know, a situation where you're not hiding, you're not sneaky, you know, you are, it's full on battle, you know, face to face, you know, and that hardly happens. Everything's it's a kind of a method of warfare, a real, worse than guerrilla warfare. It's all really just, you know, it's taken on a different twist. That kind of a twist that is not very honorable. So we can reflect on 13 and 14 from the Bhagavad as to what is a great soul. We can also reflect on Tadvidi 434, right? From the Bhagavad Gita, did I get it right?
434.
434. Okay, so now 434. Look at this. Tadvidi Pranipatya. Let's get the translation. You go to a guru, and a guru is somebody who's more enlightened than yourself. Learn from the spiritual master. Ask questions. Render service, because usually the guru is actually a bit older than you, more senior. And that guru needs, you know, like some help with laundry, with cooking. With, you know, maybe sometimes helping the guru off the chair because he's old. Right? So those kind of personal services are rendered. And the last statement is that a person who is advanced in heart knowledge is Tattvadarshina, to see the truth. Right? So that's important to know. Now, what is the truth? I'm going to ask you that question. And I'm going to start off with it. What is the truth? When the Guru presents you the truth, what is the truth in detail? Can I get some answers from you? Okay, yeah, that's fine. What is the truth? Yeah, like quoting this shloka here, you approach a guru, a self-realized soul, and the person will open up and tell you the truth. It's the truth that's mentioned twice in this verse. Because the guru has seen the truth, lived the truth. Well, what is the truth?
Krishna consciousness.
Pardon? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Any other? Yes. Oh, the 3 levels of realization. So it's a good answer. I'm actually looking for the answer that's actually given in the Bhagavad Gita. But it's an interesting, you know, answer. Okay? Should we zip over to the next one? To the next shloka? Let's find out what the truth is, what Krishna is talking about here. What do you mean by the truth? It's kind of vague, it's kind of general, right? But let's see. Yash gyatva na punarmoham. Evam yasasi pandava. Pandava refers to Arjuna. Yena bhutanya sheshani. Drakshas atmanyato mahi. Okay, let's see what the translation. Having obtained real knowledge and truth for himself, you will never fall again into such illusion. That's the result of getting purified in Buddhism. For by this knowledge you will see, this is the key thing, you will see that all living beings are a part of the Supreme, part of Krishna. All living beings are part of Krishna. That's the realization that we were supposed to get. That's what it means to be Krishna conscious, to see Krishna in everything. And in other words, that they are mine. So I was just talking to a couple yesterday from Oakville, and the lady there, she's originally from Mauritius, actually, and she's had cancer, breast cancer, and so it got controlled, and then now it acted up again more recently. So she's going through rehab. She's going through what do you call it, physio. And a part of her program is to join a rowing club, like women in a rowing club. So she goes to Burlington and Hamilton to be part of a rowing club. When you get the boat, so she was telling me, her husband and her were on the phone yesterday, said, I never realized the beauty of Krishna because we go through all these, the trails and rivers and just, it's another side of Krishna I didn't think about before. The trees, the water, the peace, the herons, whatever else is out there. So the point is that if you're seeing the truth, really what does it mean? The symptom of this, truthfully, is that you start to see Krishna's hand in everything. You see the beauty of Krishna. I'm the taste of water, I'm the light of the sun and moon, I'm the Vedic syllable Om, etc. So if you want to know what the truth is, or what knowledge is supposed to reveal, and that is to see that all living beings are in the Supreme, are in Krishna, and that they are mine. That's the other point. Nothing belongs to you. You may have a pet squirrel or a rabbit or something like that, but it doesn't belong to you. They belong to Krishna. So the way many Grihasthas in our movement, the way they are very caring about their children, hopefully they are, and what helps them to establish that mood is that, well, they're not my children, they're Krishna's children. So I must take care of them. There's a little difference between mine. I get them all, but I'm going to stick with. I'm going to have my Johnny to be the perfect cricket player or the best hockey player. Feel that possessiveness, but like all parents, they can never really own their children. They find out when the kids are about 14 years old. It's about right there. When they start to let the parents know, I'm not a baby anymore. And they'll let you know somehow. Sometimes there might be a little talking back, and it kind of shocks them. But in one way, the young person has to express his or her independence. But it should be done with tactfully, right? But sometimes it comes out kind of harsh. Okay, so this is the key thing. What is the truth? Here are some of the symptoms. You're supposed to see that all living beings are in Krishna. They are His. He says they are mine, and they're part of me. How many times have we heard part and parcel of the Supreme Lord? You and I are parts and parcels. I guess it's an old English term. It's a little bit strange, isn't it? Part and parcel. Like if somebody, the receptionist says, oh, check it out, you have a part and parcel that came from Amazon. Parcel maybe, but a part. So because we are a part and a parcel, Krishna makes it clearly given that we are part of, and we have to act like it. We have to act like we're part of the whole. And the whole is what we are serving. What is the whole? Not H-O-L-E, but W-H-O-L-E. The whole is Krishna. That's what we're serving. And when you do that, it's Mahatma. And what is a Mahatma? The one who's clear, getting the clutter out of the way. The lust, the anger, the greed, the madness, the envy, the illusion. The Duryodhana, the Dushasana, the doers and the Dushas. Mr. Dusha, Mr. Doer. And Ravana and Kamsa, They're all inside of us, you know that. I don't know if you noticed. They are inside of us. And we're supposed to be doing something about them. Either convert them or kill them. That's the thing you can do. That's the best way. Flip it around, give it 180 degrees spin. Okay, so we'll leave here for your questions and comments, please. Let's see, page 282. Next one.
Thank you, Maharaj, for this wonderful inspiration. I really like the point you made about this. They are mine. The part and parcel means that we are not the boss. We're just small parts and small. This part is always small part of the whole.
Yes.
Means we cannot claim to be big. Possible, small. This reminds us of our position. Tiny. Unknown and big.
Yes. Yeah, you explained it very eloquently yesterday, you know, about how we're tiny and we're the servant, and the ego is there that gets in the way. Yeah. Everybody has seen Krishna. He's standing like this. Ever seen him? Kautamashi. So it just means he's the boss. I'm in charge. It's got that. I'm in charge. Who do you think you are? You think you're in charge? You think you're in control? You think you're controller? Well, control freak we are. That's a fact. We are control freaks. And that's what's getting us into trouble. If you're a freak, you're in trouble. And if you're a controller, false control, that's a problem. But if you're a control freak, that's really bad.
And also the word pranipat. Pranipat is a big word. Pranipat also means paripat, paripadena, pariprashna. So this pariprashna is asking question, inquiring, not in a challenging mood.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
This pranipat also means also going down. Really going down by the senses. And this is a mood. Mood is not challenging. It's a very, very submissive. Think of it as a servant, like a slave.
So we all want to be Tattvadarshina, seers of the truth. That's where we want to be. But you have to understand what that means. And therefore we elaborate on it. It's the answers in the next shloka, which isn't quoted that much. When we talk about truth, it's not an idea, not a bad idea to be a little more explicit about that.
Part of this word jnana here, is it? It says jnana, so it's not a jnana in the sense of jnana.
Can you take us to that shloka? Jnana, self-aware.
The very jnana would mean jnana.
Right. Yeah, I mean, jnani without being, and not being a bhakta. You know, some of the words are interchanged. Anything else that okay, then we can deal with takeaways, and that's what we can do.
And for the truth, what did you mention? Like the truth, you said this is the next shloka.
Yeah.
What is
That
the,
we are part. We are
What is
part.
the truth?
We are
The
part of
truth
Krishna.
is appreciating that Krishna is in everything. and that they belong, everything, one belongs to him. Let's look at it once again. It's like, here's the truth. It starts here. You'll see the knowledge of it. You'll see all living beings, all Bhutanam. They are part of Krishna.
Mine.
Right? And that they are mine. So if we really want to understand what does it mean to be Krishna conscious, it means this. It means that.
It also would mean we are not ours.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, that's right.
We don't belong to us.
That's right. Yeah, even the body isn't ours. The story of Srimad, Swami wanted to give up his life. He was suffering from this disease. I'm not exactly sure what it was. It just sounds to me like some poison ivy or something like that. All over his body, rashes, itching, miserable, leaking. Must be something even worse. But he was thinking, I'll throw myself before the cart. And then when the news got out to Mahaprabhu that he was thinking about ending his life, the Lord said, corrected him, said, this body is not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You can't do with it what you want to do. I mean, you have to take care of it and protect it, but don't end it. You have no right to do that. Okay, so that's, anybody else? Yes.
So how do you cultivate the need of being a servant or like everything the Sri Prabhupada?
Yes, that's a good question. So we more or less answered it in the beginning of the class. We talked about Bhaktisiddhanta had young men who were joining the ashram to clean the pots. Like acts of humility. You want to think humble, you have to act humble. You render service, you do menial tasks. Like just volunteering to clean the toilet if somebody made a mess of it. You know, it could be an older person who just lost, it was very embarrassing when we were doing this. It's happened 2 years ago or so. But one lady, she came and told the management, of Govinda's, says, I'm sorry, I had an accident there. In the toilet, I had an accident. And instead of the management taking the opportunity to clean up, they just locked the door and put us out of order. It was out of order for 2 days. And I said, what is this? What's that? And then I had to go and clean it up. So it was humbling. And people end up doing embarrassing things, especially when you get a little older. And so we should just try to clean up, and that's humility comes out of that action. So if you want to be humble, act, just perform acts of humility. Go out of your way to perform acts of humbleness. Get inspired. Look at Hanuman. And what was his mood? He had the height, he had the build of like a king, right? But he was so humble. It's very inspiring. His whole idea was about service. Service to God. So that's what you do. There's great opportunities always. Serving prasadam to the devotees. Sometimes devotees fight over it. I'm going to serve. No, you're not going to serve. I'm fine. I'm going to go. Or devotees sometimes grabbing it. Like, I'm going to clean this. Hey, you don't. Have you ever seen people do that?
Last time he grabbed the Sudarshan Prabhu's plate and he was like, if you need, go in the kitchen.
It was Venkatesh.
So that's what, so Bruce, thank you very much. Some of you are breaking fast. We're all breaking fast for Makashi grades. And we'll be in the next minute or two.
Jai.
Congratulations to those who went the whole route. On my first walk across Canada, I walked 50 kilometers through the mountains, not drinking anything. And in those days, Prabhupada never told us about Nirjala. It's just something that other devotees picked up later on. My support guy says, oh, I was thinking about Nirjala. And I was, oh yeah, there is something out there. No water. There is something out there that's in our tradition. But he never told us.